Jeez, that doesn't look good at all. Hey folks, it's Farmer Marshall. I live in Georgia Zone 8A. And over the last 2 weeks, we've had not one, but two snow events. First time we had snow of about, at least where I am, about 4 inches, maybe 5. The next snow event, it was maybe an inch and a half, 2. But this is Georgia 8A, and this is my garden. Now, if you're in the north, 4, 5 inches, no big deal. I'm from Chicago. 4 or 5 inches, they're not even closing schools. Here in Georgia, everything's shut down. Not only did we have 2 snow events, but temperatures got down to as low as 16 degrees. We had many nights that was below freezing, 16, 23, 25. That's cold. It's Georgia. Fortunately, I guess I did plant what I'm hoping was an effective fall winter garden. And by effective, I mean I hope bad weather didn't just kill off all my plants. So let's take these frost cloths off, because we have at least about a week where we're not going to have any more freezing temperatures. And even though I believe we might have another night or two of freezing temperatures before spring comes, hopefully we won't have any more snow. So let's take a look and see if my frost resistant garden is actually frost resistant or freeze resistant. Let's see if it's surviving. Sheesh, doesn't look good at all. If I just planted those maybe 2 weeks earlier, maybe I would have been able to go on and harvest them. Before the snow event. Ooh, look at that. Those actually look pretty good over there. Well, it's not a complete disaster. Some things like my cabbage look pretty good. Not perfect. I think the only reason these leaves are folded down is because, oh, look at that. That's a little bit of damage there. Not bad, though. I think these plants should do very well. And they have plenty of time to keep growing. These here were some broccoli that I've already harvested, so I'm not worried about those. Although I would like to get some side shoots, but we'll see. Or I might just get some leaves and eat those. These are my collard greens. I did the cut and come again method on these plants about a day before it snowed and dropped to those really bad temperatures, because I didn't want to have a bunch of damage on them. I didn't want to lose the plants. There was some damage on them, but these plants are strong. Look at that, little tiny leaves up in there. They look good. And surprisingly, I didn't harvest all of my broccoli because they weren't ready. But this one here looks like it's a little weird because the head didn't form completely right, but there's broccoli on there. I'm happy about that. This little tiny little broccoli head here, a little damaged, but it's going to keep growing. And okay, I'm gonna show you this is my biggest disappointment. My cauliflower. The heads got to they weren't big, about maybe 3 inches across. But that cold weather pretty much destroyed the cauliflower head. I wish I planted them maybe 2 or 3 weeks earlier. I would have been they would have been at the stage where I could have harvested these, but I waited because I had my summer garden in, and I didn't want to take out my summer garden and pop these in because it was still fairly warm. Georgia, the weather's gotten crazy. It was warm in mid-October, so I didn't really want to put my brassicas out here because some are sensitive to the heat and they may grow up a little bit and start to bolt. But I have a few more back here that I think this is cauliflower here. I think it is. I'm not sure. Not sure. A lot of the stuff looks the same. These, not sure what these are. I didn't bring my list out. It might be cabbage, might be cauliflower. But oh well, it is what it is. Now my onions, these are from replants. They actually did pretty well. Doesn't look like they died. Wish the weeds out here would have died, but that's okay. My beets look pretty good. Beets are pretty cold hardy. And I do eat the leaves along with the beets, of course. And my carrots have seen better days, but they don't look bad at all. They've been covered up for, a week, 2 weeks. So the plants don't look bad. I'm pretty sure the carrots underneath are still in good shape. So I'm pretty happy about that. Now over here, I have a row here that was marked. I had this row marked, at least part of this row marked purple cauliflower. So we'll see what it actually is, because I did have some issues with the ink getting rinsed off of my markers, off of my plant markers. But they survived. And I think whatever it is, whether it's cauliflower or a purple broccoli, or even a cabbage. I don't think these are cabbages. Let's see if I can see anything up in there. Can't really see anything up in there. It is what it is. So as I go along here, I have some, let's see. It's a different type of collard green. Not sure what variety. The initial collard greens I showed you was some I bought at the grocery store. These were from seed. Just a different variety, but they look good. In fact, all of my other brassicas over here look really good. I mean, they did some same little damage, but no big deal. That's why it's important to know what to plant in your grow zone. I wouldn't have grown these in Chicago. At least not in the winter. That's for sure. More stuff with a little bit of damage, but maybe a lot of damage. We'll have to see. I'm not gonna pull the damage part off because that could protect it in case it gets colder. I think I have this here, my last kohlrabi. No damage, just weeds around it. So that's not a problem. All my other kohlrabi, I've already harvested those. I did a video where I harvested them and I showed how, well, I didn't show you how I cooked them, but I did cook them. I cooked the root, not the root, the bulb, this part here, which gets about the size of a baseball, at least, and also cooked the leaves. The leaves taste great. I mixed them in with, I think one time I mixed them in with collard greens because I didn't have enough leaves. But they taste fantastic. If you get a chance, give kohlrabi a try. So before I uncover the second half of my garden, do me a favor. If you like my videos, share them out to family and friends, someone you think might find them useful. Also, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be here next time I have something going on in the garden. Okay, well, let's go on and see what happens on the other side. This part of my garden is a little shady, so it still hit ice on it. So let's go and take a look. Not as bad as I thought it could have been. These are some of my, these are some cabbages I started from seed. I started these really late, but they survive. I always worry about my small plants surviving, but I don't see any real damage on these at all. And my bigger cabbages, these guys here look a little sorry. Leaves hanging down some, but they look good. They really do. These are all volunteer plants. I had cabbage in the garden last year, and when I was cleaning out my spring summer garden, I found these guys. And no, they weren't set out in a row nice and neat. I had to dig them up from over here somewhere, and I moved them over here. And they turned out pretty good. Now I also have some other plants, other young plants. That's the collard green, a purple collard green, a purple cabbage. I think this might be purple cabbage, not sure. Like I said, I had some labels that went off. I did plant some more up in here. In these raised beds, I do need to feed them like today. And even with these veggies here, I think I broke this one. Yeah, I broke the stem when I put the covering over it. These guys here are looking pretty good. Got some more mustard greens. These guys were volunteer plants that I had on the side of the house. I had so many, I put a few back here. These are purple, I believe these are my purple cauliflower or purple cabbage. Not purple cabbage, purple cauliflower or purple broccoli. Yeah, they come in purple. That's one of the colors. Here amongst all these weeds are some turnip greens. And I think that might be a turnip green there. I have spinach. Spinach is pretty cold hardy. But once the summer comes, they're going to bolt. So I always plant these in the fall. Got some more. I believe this is turnips here. Some. I always want to forget. Oh, Swiss chard. These are Swiss chard. I definitely need to fertilize those too. And amongst all these weeds over here, I have some lettuce. Blanking on the variety. Oh, black Simpson seed, or black seeded Simpson. Got a couple here. This was when I did seeds. I mixed up some. Obviously, I could mention I mixed some seeds up together, and this ended up right in the middle here. So I just left it. More black Simpson seeded. I think there's a plant there, but I did the cut and coming in method of these, so they were pretty low when I covered them. I think this is a weed. Nope, that's lettuce. That's some lettuce. So this is my side garden. I did the cut and come again method on my mustard greens last week in preparation for this. And no, I didn't cover a thing. So this is kind of a, well, right now this is almost an experiment. I will probably come out here later on, maybe knock some of the snow off of the leaves once it stops snowing. But hoping these guys survive and thrive. We shall see. My side garden has survived temperatures down to 21 degrees and almost 5 inches of snow, uncovered. How cold tolerant is this garden? Well, I guess I'll let you decide. Some plants are just built like that. Well, folks, I gotta admit, I'm thrilled. I planted most of my garden in November with the expectation that, hey, you know what? It's a mild winter here in Georgia. You might get a freezing temperature here and there, but with the snow and the extra hard freezes, I had no idea those were coming. But I specifically planned my garden out so that it could handle some cold winter weather. In fact, I did a video in November, top 10 things you can plant in November. And honestly, most of the stuff that's in my garden are things that were on that list. So if you get a chance, check out that video. And also, I do have more stuff coming out real soon. I'm about to do seed starting. Yeah, I know, seed starting, and we just had a snow. But I got to get it started. And the reason why I want to get my garden started early is because I know if I plant from seeds, I have so many more options than trying to buy stuff from the grocery store or from the big box stores. Also, if I plant from seed, I can start my plants earlier, 6 to 8 weeks earlier, and get them in the ground as good size starts. So I can save money, I can put out bigger plants, and I can have a larger variety of food that I'm going to plant. If you have an idea of what I'm planting, or if you want to get an idea, check out my seed haul video. I have tons of seed. I might have a problem. Anyway, I figured one way to help me get over my seed buying addiction is by planting the seeds themselves. So yeah, I'm going to be planting seeds, probably maybe some today, maybe some next week, but I'm going to get most of them planted by, I'd say, the first week in February. So as I always say, let's get out there and get a little dirty. Yeah. Look at him. You think he was a